All right, welcome to DeanBodi Show. DeanBodi Show. Hey everybody, what's going on? How are you? Welcome to DeanBodi Show. Let's get it kicked off on the right foot. Who's the good girl? Good girl, Bodi. Good girl. Good girl, Bodi. She's the best girl in the world. Oh, yeah. DeanBodi.com. 800-878-9698. Bodi Hotline, Fun Line. Call the Bodi line. She's waiting for you. Say something fun to Bodi. She's been going through it over here with the Doggy Dermatologist that we're going to get into in a little bit. So, hey, say your best wishes to Bodi. Without the Bodi, there's no DeanBodi Show. DeanBodi.com is the website. We got the links on there. I want to get you over to the podcast, Apple, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. The other social link will get you over to the YouTube channel, DeanBodi space show, YouTube channel. Man, hope you had a good St. Patrick's Day. And I don't know, had some corned beef and cabbage and some shepherd's pie. And I don't know, maybe slammed some green beer and did a couple shots of Jameson Irish whiskey. Hey, we don't do that anymore because this year, and I'm not judging anybody, you do you, I'm doing me, Bodi's doing Bodi, and we do DeanBodi. You know, but this year's coming up on 5 years clean and sober. Oh, yeah. So anyways, we're going down that road and did plenty of Irish whiskey in my day, drank plenty of green beer in my day. So the cup runneth over, and now we're going down a different road. That being said, man, oh man, we've been going through a bunch of cool stuff over here, learning a lot about what's going on with Bodi and her folliculitis. Hey, learning some things about nice neighbors and interesting neighbors, and as we've been navigating through our day-to-day, cruising around the neighborhood, saying hi to people, and just running into different kinds of vibrations around the neighborhood. So, I gotta tell you about what's going on with Bodi first. Bodi, not only the love of my life, but we're trying to figure out this thing they call folliculitis and different situations going on with her as she's going through some allergy stuff, as dogs do, from what I'm understanding. So, my vet could only get her so far with the antibiotic that he prescribed and the different, whatever medicated shampoo we tried. And then we went to the oatmeal shampoo with the baking soda and the conditioner and did that whole fresh zippity-doo-dah from the mobile grooming. Gia does a great job, and she's done a great job for years now. So the vet can only get so far when it came to what was going on with her. So he referred me to a specialist, a doggy dermatologist. Who knew? I've never been to a pet specialist. Of all the pets that I've had, the cats, the dogs, never once went to a specialist, but just like people, they're out there. And so we finally went after a 6-week waiting list. Seriously? So before I tell you about the visit, let me preface this by telling you about the phone call I made when the appointment was getting closer to confirm it, letting them know that 6 weeks is a little bit ridiculous, and this doctor, this doggy dermatologist, better have the answers because we've been waiting all this time, and Bodi's been kind of suffering, going through this itchy on her skin and all. I mean, who would want to go through that for too long? I know I wouldn't, so I felt for her. And as you see the dogs, when they're licking their paws, they're basically letting you know, they're not actually telling you, of course, but they're doing their thing because there's something wrong. Yes, it's soothing to them to do it, but it's still something that they do to soothe them while they're going through the itchy and the uncomfortableness of the folliculitis, where the bacteria is getting into the hair follicles. These kinds of things are going on. So, the vet only got us so far. He referred me to this specialist, doggy dermatologist, and we went all the way down there after a 6-week wait. And I told her, I did tell her that he better have the right answers, because if not, I need to go to somebody else because I don't feel like waiting forever to find out what's going on. And I wanted to get an idea what the visit was going to be like. So she, in a roundabout way, she gave me her little zippity-doo-dah speech. Long story short, we finally made it to the place, okay? And the driver that I used to help me, the GPS was getting lost. We circled around this thing a couple different times, and I said to him, and I've known him for years, he's helped me with so many things. I love the guy to death. And I said, you would make a terrible Uber driver because your GPS is always getting lost. And we had a little bit of a laugh, and we get all the way down there, and this place was some facility. All right. So we got the doggy dermatologist. Next door to the dermatologist is the whole animal hospital. On the other side of the plaza is the animal eye doctor. I mean, what a whole, 3 blocks worth of specialists for animals. Wow. Incredible. So we go in there to check in. And she's like, well, you can walk around. We were about a half hour early. You can walk around and, we'll come and find you. Blah, blah, blah. So I know Bodi had to go to the bathroom. And so we're walking around and so she can find a patch of grass to do her business. And I see this little area where there's a gate and real nice grass in the back area. And there's nice tables back there for people to sit. And I'm like, well, this must be an area that we can hang out. And it looked like the perfect spot. So I opened up the gate, we went inside, and we're walking around, and Bodi does her business. Nothing about having your nerves cranked up and being nervous about a doctor's visit or being in an environment that you're not familiar with, knowing that something's going on to make you go to the bathroom, okay? So, and we go back there, and she does her business, and then we're just sitting on this nice little bench that they had, and Bodi's just taking a break, and who comes walking out the back? A German Shepherd with some, elbow braces on or knee braces. I guess they just had some surgery and going through a little bit of a walk and, as they do. It was like, wow. And then this other lady comes out and she looks at Bodi and I and goes, can I help you? And I said, oh yeah, we're just over there with the dermatologist waiting for our appointment. Okay, because this is only for employees only. Oh. Look who, all of a sudden the animal clinic bouncer came out to tell us basically to get out. There's no sign on the gate. There's no sign on the wall. There's no keep out sign. Sorry to bother you, but we're all part of the same kind of, community around here, I thought. So I said sorry to bother you and we just left. Always somebody trying to be the bigger boss than they really are. Like we were doing something wrong. Like we didn't just walk in here off the street and we decided to use your area as a dog park. Hey, we're part of the community. We're at the dermatologist. So what's the problem? So anyway, we went, walked around some more, came to the appointment. And I got to tell you, man, this guy had it down. This doctor had me at hello. This guy, 4 foot nothing, had a haircut like me, which is no hair. And I'm like, I don't know. He could have been my father, the way he looked. Incredible, man. And so he comes in after we're waiting in the room. And first of all, before he comes in, what do I see on the wall? A giant picture of a hair follicle. Oh, what a better place to come about the folliculitis and see a giant picture of a folliculi. Hey, when you go to the cardiologist, what do you want to see on the wall? Not a folliculi. You want to see pictures of the heart. When you go to a nephrologist, what do you want to see on the wall? Well, you want to see things about kidneys and kidney function and things like that. Not pictures of the heart. Hey, when you go to the orthopedic guy, you want to see pictures of, whatever is the spine, the knee, all these kinds of joints and stuff that he does surgery on. You don't want to see a picture of the kidneys. So we knew we were in the right place. Giant picture of a folliculus. And I'm like, okay. I'm wondering if they swap the pictures out depending on what you got going on there. Like, let's say the next person behind me on the next appointment was coming in for, I don't know, let's say some type of, I don't know, mole or something on their belly. He'd probably switch the picture out for a big giant mole on the wall. So we got the follicular already starting off on the right foot. And he comes in, and I see the guy, and he brings in his little diagram, and he goes, and he calls Bodi, this little girl has an allergy. They just happen. He says it's nothing you're doing wrong. It's nothing that you're giving them. Already he's taken the responsibility off of me and saying it's not my fault. Building rapport with the owner, okay? It's working, okay? Because you don't want to tell the person as soon as they walk in, you don't want to tell the owner of the animal, you're not feeding them that, are you? You're not giving them this. I can't believe you're doing that. You better stop that right away. Make them feel like they're just ruining their pet's life, of course. So I got it, what the spiel was about, and he's giving me his little zippity-doo-dah. So far, so good. And then he's explaining to me about the folliculus, how you might have 3 Shibas in a row. 2 of them might not have any itch at all, about nothing. And the other one is itching, and the other 2 are looking at the one itching like, hey, what's your problem? We don't have no problem. What's going on? So Bodi is going through something. Genetically, whatever. Do I believe nutrition and all of that has an effect on, of course it does, on the immune system. Bodi eats real food, has some good healthy treats. She takes her vitamins and all, but we're still going through it. There's different grasses and weeds and all kinds of other kinds of elderberry, furberry, whatever plants around that are native to Texas from what I'm understanding, and she's running into it, having a rough time. So that's what's going on. So he's telling me about this little girl's got this and that. And he's doing a great job explaining to me what's going on. So what they end up having to do was they had to sedate her. Not something I was really enjoying that process, watching her get, sedated. And I didn't have to watch it, but they had to bring her back and do an allergy test on her, which they had to shave some of the hair on the side of her belly and do that scrape test of the different weeds and things like that and see which areas turned red or got inflamed, and those were positive tests. And then they what do you call it? They make their serum. I guess you can call it a serum. Their concoction to help the animal's body build an immunity to that. And it can take 6 months to a year to get going and all that whole, I get it. And it's only maybe 75, 80% effective. And we had to hear that whole thing. But what are you going to do? You want to give it a try and give her body something to work on. So when she's out there running around and she runs into the red berry, bilderberry, boysenberry plant, that she can fight it off. They're only on the planet like 20 years if you're lucky, God willing. If they go past 20 years, that's like a miracle. You want them to be comfortable. We're going to the dog park and it's running into different things and rolling around in the grass and dogs are peeing and pooping and there's residues and things like that. She needs all of the fighting chance that she can get to handle this kind of thing. And just like the regular medical profession, they didn't talk to me about nutrition or what she was eating or nothing about a special topical or shampoo. a little disappointed in that, let's just say. Very medical. They had their system. They're going to bring you in. They're going to do the allergy test. They're going to make a serum for you to give to them. It's a couple squirts you give under their, in the gum area, under their tongue, submucosal, sublingual, so it absorbs better and the body starts developing an immunity. That's the idea. Also, he gave us antibiotics for the Bodster. The ones that we were getting from the vet, from what I understand, it's only like a Band-Aid. It was not attacking what it needed to attack, and it didn't have that, wide spreading attack type of thing that we needed, okay, to handle more of the problem instead of the one that I was getting from the vet. Wasn't doing the job. And they gave her a little bit of a steroid, nothing strong like a prednisone, but a milder one to help with the inflammation and the itching. And man, so we walked out of there. This was not a cheap visit. He did the whole zippity-doo-dah on me. And here was the kicker. They know that you'll spend whatever on your dog, on your animal. You were in love with your pet, whatever it was. It could have been $500,000 and I would have done it. I don't have it, but you get my point, okay? So, it was expensive, but it could have been a lot worse. And the bottom line is we want to get to the bottom of this, and I want Bodi to be comfortable as she's fighting this thing off, okay? But here was the kicker. First, when he said to me to get rapport with me or the owner, as they would do, it's nothing you're doing. It's not your fault this is happening. It's nothing that you're giving them that's causing this, okay? Then he sits on the floor, okay? He sits on the floor to get eye level with Bodi and reaches under her harness and starts scratching her chest and by the belly, and Bodi's fallen in love with the doctor. And I'm like, hey man, what's going on with all the flirtatiousness with my Bodi? All kidding aside, he was developing this rapport with the dog now, with Bodi. First he has me, and then he has the dog, and I'm like, whatever you say, I'm going to do now. You have me. I'm done. He did a great job explaining it, and I had to go with their expertise, and I'm glad they did the allergy test, and to kind of hone in on what's going on. Got to respect it, and nobody else was doing it. Nobody else is doing this kind of thing to help the Bodi out, and with the antibiotic and the steroid and all that. Steroids for 10 days and we're done. Antibiotic for 30 days, done. And then in the meantime, we're doing this little, call it a tincture or call it some kind of serum or whatever they developed from the allergy test. And it comes in a little pump and you get like 5 months worth of this stuff. Start off the first week, a pump in the morning, pump at night, under the tongue. And then after the first week, you go to 2 pumps, AM and PM. And this is, you ready for this? Drum roll, please. Forever. I said forever. And now I get the idea. Now I just signed up for a membership to renew and to refill the serum every 6 months. If it works, no problem. But, what a business they got, man. And not only that, but I want to respect the specialty. I've had my own dermatology thing happen before, and it was a dermatitis, and you put a little this and a little that on there, and it goes away. So, look. Some of the weeds and some of the things that they found that were positive, I've never even heard of before. I'm like, what is this purple boysenberry, tropical flower, raspberry, tsetse weed? What is that? Oh, something that just kind of grows out here in Texas. Oh, well, where in Texas? In my backyard. Is it growing over there at the dog park? Are we talking about San Antonio? Are we talking about Dallas? Are we talking about You know, what are we talking about? Mesquite? Where's it growing? Anyway, if she happens to run into it, she's going to be ready for it, okay? Every once in a while, something from the planet or from outer space, from, I don't know, could be planet Uranus for all I know, comes falling through the atmosphere, lands in Texas, and Bodi might be allergic to it. So we have a serum to help with that. All right? And the computer's doing its little zippity-doo-dah, and we're going to fix it right now and bring it back to life again. Oh, yeah. So what a great visit. I'm so glad that I went. You're doing everything you can for the animal that you love. I love Bodi so much. And this doctor, when he sat on the floor and did the scratch, and Bodi was like, oh, wow, oh, yeah. Whatever you say, doc, I was totally in. So then, anyway, after it was all said and done, they did have to sedate her. So when they do the shaving of the hair and do the scraping test, it's not going to hurt her. And so Bodi came back from the back a little drunk. She was knocked out. And they're like, and the nurse comes in. I did the payment transaction. They brought the prescriptions, the little serum with the pump, the whole thing you keep in the fridge, and all this stuff. You leave with everything. Let us know in 30 days how she's doing. And this is kind of how it goes. So I like the fact that I didn't have to come back the week after and do all this other. Very nicely done. And like I said, if it works and helps, it's already helping her. She's not licking her paws anymore because things aren't bothering her as much. But, it's going to take some time. Just like it is with me with my adrenal gland insufficiency. I'm still building. I'm just starting to walk better and all that. I got a ways to go. We're looking at a year. We're looking at a year for Bodi. And then we'll rebuild and we'll learn from our mistakes and we learn things new and we keep moving forward. Okay, so that's what we're going to do. That's how we're handling it. So we get home with all this stuff, right? And the plan, and we've been doing it since last Friday, and we're rocking and rolling. And let me tell you, we're doing our thing over here. I'm glad that so I call her up, the dermatologist back up again, because a couple of things weren't discussed. I'm like, do we need to refrigerate the serum? Yeah, we recommend you keep it in the fridge and all that. I'm like, okay, because that wasn't discussed. And then we hung up. And then I thought of something again. I go, I better call back. Do I need to shake it up? I don't know. Is it something I should shake or whatever? I call him back again. Is it something do I need to shake it up or whatever? Yeah, just kind of invert it. Do your little thing back and forth. We recommend that. Mix it around a little bit. Okay, because that wasn't discussed either. And then we hung up again. So now we have the real plan. We have all this kind of thing going on. Before we left, she said that the, the tranquilizer, wherever they gave her, the sedative, after 15 minutes it'll wear off. Negative. Bodi was shuffling as we finally got out there and we got into the vehicle, took a nap on me. When we got home, she was still knocked out probably for another, 30, 45 minutes. And then I was worried about her. She's never had that before. I'm like, is she going to come out of this thing? I started to get a little nervous, and then she finally jumped up and everything was good, like nothing ever happened. What a relief that was. But so we have a plan for Bodi. We went through the doggy dermatology. We did our thing, and I'm happy. I'm happy with the way it went. We have a plan. I have a plan for me with the rebuilding. I'm holding back on my own lab work, I've decided. I don't think it's time yet. I'm in a deficiency still right now. I got my supplementation regimen going. Bodi and I walk around the neighborhood a few times a day. My strength is getting back. My muscle atrophy is not as bad. I'm walking much more normal. As compared to where I was 4 months ago, you think I was almost in a wheelchair. And that's no joke. Okay, so pretty intense. Coming out of it, Let me give it some more time. Let me get to the 6-month mark. I'll go get my labs done, and let's get a real sense of where my cortisol levels and my adrenal glands are. Let's get a real sense of how things are really functioning. I don't need to go in there in too much of a deficit so this guy can give me a whole nother laundry list of meds to take that I'm not going to want to do. You know what I mean? So right now, I'm handling my gout flare-ups with my regimen, knowing that it's only going to be temporary. I'm giving it a year. Let's calm the uric acid down. After that adrenal gland insufficiency, it just smashed my whole body into smithereens. Not just my adrenal glands, it smashed everything. Of course, my kidneys are not going to be as functioning as well as they were after that whole system shut down. Of course, the pituitary gland can't talk to the adrenal glands as well as it was. Of course, all this different things and the heart and all this stuff, and to get my blood pressure back to normal again and my nervous system healed. Come on. So we're doing our thing. We're watching the diet. We're doing our supplementation. Bodi's doing her thing. We're both eating good. We're both taking our supplements. We both have our regimen we've got going. And then after a year on myself, then we'll turn it and reverse it around the other way and come off any kind of med. The goal is to be medication free, but you got to go through the crisis care sometimes. It's interesting to me when somebody, and most of us have gone through a surgery or something like that, and they're all happy that they're alive, and then they get all bent out of shape about a medication or something like that and have an attitude about it. Oh, it's okay that they saved your life, but now, oh, I'm not taking this, I'm not taking that. Listen, you do what you got to do to calm things down. Thank God it exists. You know what I mean? And you go through your process, and then you can always reverse it as your body gets stronger. That's all. That's the way I like to handle things. Drop the attitude about a lot of it and get yourself back on track, and then your body can function without any help, and you move forward. That's it. Nothing wrong with that. Most of us wouldn't be walking around the planet if it wasn't for crisis care. Let's be honest. Okay? So, that's what I think. That's how we're doing it over here, DeanBodi. Hey, Millie!
Yeah! Wow! Did you hear what he just went through with the whole thing, the doggy dermatologist and all that stuff? That doctor sounded awesome. Yeah, I know, that's amazing. We gotta take our dog over to the dermatologist because it's scratching and stuff. Wow, it's a great thing. I'm so glad. DeanBodi, they're doing better. We love you, DeanBodi. Way to go, DeanBodi.
So that being said, wow. You know, St. Patrick's Day was just here. What else is going on? We were going to do a show this past Saturday, but we wanted to get through this dermatology. We wanted to tell you about all this stuff. And those of you that follow us over here, DeanBodi, our calendar doesn't follow the regular calendar. Our weeks can go 10 days or more sometimes. Just like there's a Mayan calendar, there's a Jewish calendar, there's the regular calendar. Hey, we have DeanBodi calendar, and we do it the way we do it. Some of these podcasts, you listen to them, and they apologize for being late. Sorry, we didn't know how to go on tour, and my schedule was... You don't have to apologize. Unless you're a podcast that you name it a certain day. Like, for example, one of my favorite comedians ever, Bill Burr, has the Monday Morning Podcast. If you're going to call your podcast Monday Morning Podcast, well, you better have it done on Monday. But there's been some times where he couldn't do it on Monday, and he talks about he's being late, this and that. He only had to do it on Tuesday, and this. And then he has a Thursday morning, just before Friday, Monday Morning Podcast, where he's got to put it out on Thursday. Hey, much respect going out to Bill Burr in that your work ethic and your commitment, and you can get it on a Monday and a Thursday and get it dialed in. But if you have to apologize once in a while for being late, oh, well, hey, that's what happens. So that being said, what are you going to do, man? We do our thing over here, And we're coming at you, man. And we love you over here, DeanBodi. The numbers are going up every day. Listen, if you like what's going on over here, consider subscribing. Don't forget to click the like button. Don't forget to ring that notification bell. You don't want to miss any of these shows. Why? Because these are real shows. And when you get over to the podcast, if you leave a nice 5-star rating and a nice review, would be awesome. You're going to be giving that algorithm a good uppercut to the you-know-what and send it to the next level. We'd greatly appreciate it. Oh my gosh. And who's a good girl, Bodi? She's the best girl in the world. Oh yeah, the good girl, Bodi. Yeah, the best girl in the world. Oh yeah. DeanBodi.com. 800-878-9698. Bodi Hotline Funline. Remember, you don't have to listen to the whole Jeopardy theme song now. When you call, it goes right to the message. We fixed it. We made it better. You can leave a nice little fun message on there. Hey, say what's going on in your neck of the woods. Say your first name, where you're from. We'll give you a shout out on the show. How cool is that? We'll make it a feature on the show. You want to do your little zippity doo dah song. So we were going to do the Saturday, as I was saying, okay? I love Bodi so much. You got to come up to the YouTube channel to see the picture of Bodi I hold up. And then I'll flip it over and show you the DeanBodi.com, the 800-878-9698 number on the card. That's how we do it. Then we flip it back to the picture of Bodi. Then we flip it back to the website and the number. And back to the picture of Bodi again. You got to come over to the YouTube channel and check it out. Man. So we were going to do Saturday because the Saturday songs were popping in my head again. But before we get into that, because it's Thursday and we make up our own rules over here, we don't care what day of the week it is because Thursdays are Saturdays and Saturdays are Thursdays sometimes over here, DeanBodi. That's right. A Monday can be a Sunday can be a Monday. Hey, Wednesday could jump over to Saturday could jump over to Tuesday. DeanBodi calendar, look out. So when we had the snowfall out here, okay, and it was the frozen tundra, 11 below with the wind chill, because that's what it feels like. So that's what it really is. And we were having a power outage, and then the water got turned off. For days. I just had enough water to get me through. It was a miracle, okay? But my point is about a neighbor who I've known for a while, a guy from Boston. He's on the other side of the building. And he came walking over, knocked on my door, and asked me how I was doing. You need anything? You got enough water? You got food? It was awesome, man. And so I gave him a couple of jugs for him to fill up for me because he's got one of those big, 3.5 gallon jugs that you flip upside down and you got the water thing. I have one. It's not big like that, but it's a pure water filter countertop. It holds quite a bit, couple gallons, and it's awesome. I love it. But, he had a larger one and he filled up a couple things for me and got me through another day. But the fact that he came by and he said, you doing all right, this and that, you got to appreciate that. The neighbor next to me over there just moved in. One of their pipes exploded and froze over from the frozen tundra. And we got all kinds of interesting things going on over here. The guy across the way, the Muslim guy who I've known for about 8 years, does his thing. He's always pointing up to God every time I see him. This guy's too cool. And I hear him drilling and sawing in his apartment the other day. I'm like, what do you got going on over here? Oh, yeah, I'm building this, I'm building that. To get some exercise. I'm not working right now. I'm living off of my savings. So he's building furniture in his apartment. So we got the guy 2 doors down the other way who works on cars nonstop, okay? This guy, where he gets all these tools is beyond me. Pulls the car up on the ramps. He's underneath there. He's got his whole mechanic outfit on. And I think what he does is he fixes them, he flips them, then he sells them, and he pays his rent. That's a really good business if you know what you're doing. So, but it makes the other guy, the one from Boston, who's like, he lives upstairs from the guy, and he gets upset and he complains about him because you're not supposed to do major repairs in the parking lot. You're not supposed to. So he lets me know that he's upset about that. And then I come around the corner the other way with Bodi, and the neighbor comes down. He goes, can you do me a favor? Can you lift my hood? When he goes into his truck and he pulls the lever, I have to lift the hood because he got into an accident and it doesn't pop up. I'm like, sure. And all these things are going on around here, man. And you were doing what we do over here. It's interesting place to live. And you get some tolerance going and you don't react negatively to too many of these things going on, and just appreciate what you got going on in your day to day. You know what I mean? And be thankful for what's going on with your life. And, as the song says, don't worry, be happy. So the Saturday thing, going back to that with the Saturday songs, the Elton John song, like Saturday, 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 Saturday night's all right. You know that one. Then you had the other one by the Bay City Rollers, Saturday night. So Saturday night. So Saturday night. So I thought about, because DeanBodi does what they want to do, and Saturdays can be Thursdays and Thursdays can be Saturdays, we're going to turn the Saturday songs into Thursday songs. Right? Thursday, 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 Thursday. Thursday, Thursday night's all right. Yeah. THURSDAY night. THURSDAY night. Thursday night. Thursday night. So celebrate every day. And that's the way we're doing over here, DeanBodi. Do your little flippity flop. Don't worry about the calendar. Make your thing whatever you want to make it. Do your thing over here. We'll do our thing over there. And we'll do our thing together. Thank you so much for hanging in there with this DeanBodi Show. Again, DeanBodi.com is the website. We got the links on there. Want to get you over to the podcast, Apple, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. The social link will get you over to the YouTube channel, DeanBodi space show, YouTube channel. Man, let me tell you, we're having a great day over here, DeanBodi. You keep moving forward. We'll keep moving forward. We got the DeanBodi Show coffee mugs here. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited about that. And, hey, listen, before we go, let's get ALEXA involved and wrap things up here. And we're having a good time, And just one thing I wanted to say as I'm doing the MCT oil and the brain formula from the Bulletproof guy, too much MCT oil equals, be careful with that stuff. It's strong. So listen, that being said, hey, Alexa, tell us a knock-knock joke.
Okay, here we go. Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Toby.
Toby who?
Toby or not Toby? That is the question.
Toby or not Toby? That is the question. Have an awesome day. DeanBodi.com. We're coming at you. Oh, yeah.